Hey guys, Paulie Walnuts here, and I'm thanking you for tuning in. This is episode 10, our first double-digit episode. Incredibly stoked. Thank you for the support. If you don't mind, take this time to like, subscribe, and share to the podcast and the channel. We would super be grateful. But anyway, before we get into episode 10, I would like to stop and thank our sponsors, because without them, none of this would be possible, starting with the first supporter of the podcast, that is Maddox Decks, custom made and shaped skateboards by a local skateboarder right here in Duval County, North Florida, Dalton Maddox. You give him your dimensions, your shapes, your designs, your inspirations, and this man knocks them out. 100% Canadian hard rock maple. They're the best damn decks you can ride, in my opinion, but do not take my word for it. Get your own today. You can hit him up on the gram at mad_x_decks. That's at MAD_ACTS_DECKS. Next, we'd like to thank Overcast Fishing Apparel. For anglers, by anglers, tattoo-inspired design, inshore, saltwater, and freshwater. If you're into tattoos, the tattoo culture, the art, the lifestyle, if you're also a fisherman or fisherwoman, this is the brand for you. I promise. I'd put my money on it. But once again, please don't take my word for it. Hit him up, and you can find them on the gram at Overcast Fishing Apparel. No underscores, dashes, dots, or any of that fancy stuff. Just at Overcast Fishing Apparel. Finally, we'd like to thank Pomeroy Woodwork and Design. Traditional craftsmanship, custom design, cabinet making, crown molding, and trim, furniture refurbishing and repurposing. You can email them with inquiries at pomeroywoodworkdesign@gmail.com, or you can check them out on the gram as well at Pomeroy Woodwork Design. That's POMEROYWOODWORKDESIGN. So, episode 10, this is actually going to be our first season finale, if you will. We're going to take a month break for the rest of March, and we're going to come back the first week in April with our 11th episode, or the first episode of season 2. And for this episode, we do check in with our buddy Squirrel to find out all of the shows and the happenings here in Jacksonville, Florida for the next month. But we also sit down with a buddy of mine who's super inspirational to me. He's very crafty, handsy, ingenuitive. He's a DIY master. His name is Willy Beaman. Just like from Any Given Sunday, Steamin' Willy Beaman. My man has a skate little haven in his backyard, all out of concrete. Himself and the local crew here, some of the Barn Bowl crew and many others have put in many blood, sweat, tears, and time to making this little backyard haven. Willy has also started Germinate Skateboarding, which is a kind of a little DIY brand where the benefits go towards making new DIY spots around town. They were big in helping make spots in Kooktown and Nuketown and other places. Anyway, this dude is fucking rad. He inspires me. I hope you guys enjoy the conversation. As always, I know that I did. Sid did as well. Without further ado, this is episode 10, season 1 finale. Sitting down with Steamin' Willy Beaman from the Southlands. Here we go.
It's Beyond the Pod.
You're listening to Beyond the Pod.
Yo, let's go. You're on
You're listening to Beyond the Pod.
Hey guys, Paulie back with you, and I am super stoked about the talented guy I've got sitting across from me, lifelong skateboarder, just pretty much a creator of rad things, DIY. I mean, you've just been killing it, dude. How are you doing, Willy Beaman?
Good. Thanks. How you doing?
Great, man. Old Steamin' Willy Beaman.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you got that a lot.
Yeah, ever since that movie came out.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday.
Yep.
But yeah, man, so tell us a little bit about yourself. How old are you? You know, like hometown, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm 44 years old. Grew up here in Jacksonville. Born at Baptist Hospital. Went to Sandwood High School,
Nice.
class of 93.
All right.
Kind of grew up skating Kona.
Yeah, so how long have you been skating?
Since about 87, so what's that, 33 years?
Wow. Yeah, dude. That's definitely lifelong.
Yeah.
So regular or goofy?
Regular.
Regular. And what's your favorite trick?
Any kind of blunt trick, blunt variations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Street trick are probably backside kick flips.
Yep, and I was about to ask, are you street or tranny or both?
Well, I grew up on a dirt road, so we were making our own ramps and a bunch of wooden stuff, just laying out plywood and center blocks and stuff like that. So there wasn't a whole lot of street, but after I was old enough to drive and get around, we started skating street a lot, and that's kind of when the transition of everybody going to street started, the small wheels and
That's
big
what I was about.
pants and stuff.
Yeah, the small wheel pressure flip phase.
Right.
Yeah, how was it growing up in the early 90s there with that?
It was fun. It was good. I liked it.
Cool. So if you had to pick front side or backside?
I've always been better at backside. I
Really?
like front side, but I'm better at backside.
See, I'm like the opposite for the most part. To me, whatever is in it, and tranny or not, just front side is always most comfortable for me.
Right.
I would say if I had to do one trick for the rest of my life and that's all I could do, it'd be like a high-powered front side grind. It just doesn't matter on what.
Right. I really didn't get good at frontside grinds until probably my late 20s or early 30s. It was always either street and then backside stuff.
Yeah. So growing up, what's most influential skater, favorite skater?
Local, probably some of the Kona older guys like Buck Smith and there was Barry Floyd and Bear Hughes and Todd Johnson.
Bear.
And stuff like
man.
that.
Dude, it's been a while since I've heard that name.
Yeah, and then there was like Steve Buchanan and he was on Powell, so he was like a big guy to us. And Danny Way, not just local people, but like Danny Way and a bunch of the Colin McKay when they were skating Kevin Harris's park, and I don't even remember which Bones video that was. It might have been Public Domain or Ban This.
Yeah.
All the mini ramp tricks they were doing were great, because I love some mini ramp too.
Oh, mini ramp, yeah. It's honestly, that's probably my bread and butter. If I'm just going to go roll for a little bit, just give me a mini ramp. Right. Anywhere 4 to 6 feet. It's just fun.
Yep.
Yeah, so let me ask you about your favorite skate park and your favorite street spot.
Well, growing up, street skating, we did a lot of downtown and a lot of Friendship Park and stuff like that. So street spots, I would say probably Friendship Park.
Nice. Skate park?
Skate park. Now it's Lakeland, Florida. That's great. It used to be Oviedo, but I love Team Payne skate parks, and Oviedo was the shit. But then when Lakeland came, it was my favorite.
Yeah, dude. Actually, Oviedo I fucking love Oviedo, but I haven't been in the new Lakeland Park yet. Yeah. I heard it's a lot of fun.
That and St. Pete.
St. Pete, yeah. Actually, I rode it when it first opened up. I went over there for Tampa Pro, and we made a little trip. Got a little session in early in the morning before we head back. Let me ask you this: it is Tampa Pro this weekend. You ever been? Yeah,
I used to go pretty regularly. I think I've probably been about 4 or 5 times, so not regularly, but I did go 96, 97, 98, and then again back in like 2001 or something. So
nice.
I think 2001 or 2002 was probably the last year I went.
Yeah, dude, it's so much fun. I love going over there. Of just all the skate spots, skate culture, but just the whole event, because I took my daughter last time I went, and just the intermingling of everybody, especially after they're done skating. It was like my daughter's dropping in on the mini ramp with a Chris Haslam skating, got pictures and stuff. Super rad fun time.
Yeah, and it's really blown up now. I can only imagine how it is now.
Oh, and the concrete jam?
Yeah.
Oh my God, epic. Which was actually tight because last time I went, Phelps was like the MC, and so he was like right in the middle, just hollering at everybody, and you just had like Grant Taylor doing massive frontside airs with bottle rockets shooting off from the bottom of his boards.
Carnage.
Epic. Yeah. But here, let's switch gears a little bit. What do you do for a living?
Graphic arts and embroidery.
Yeah
a little bit of printing and just artwork on the computer and stuff like that. I've been in the printing industry for probably 25 years now. I got into it running presses, doing paper printing, and then kind of got a job at a place that did a bunch of different printing and embroidery, and they needed help in embroidery, and I liked that better because it was cleaner. I wasn't getting ink all over me.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And I started creating embroidery designs, when we had free time, just sitting at the computer, and just kind of stuck with it.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. So let me ask you about this. Just growing up, we're in an election year and everything, and just the state of everything as polarized as our country is. Like, how do you feel about the state of things now? And if you could have your way, which direction would you like to see the country head in?
I would just like to see everybody get along.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I mean, whatever way you believe, it's fine, but we just need to be civil about it and just get along and respect everybody's ideas and values and everything.
I completely agree. It's gotten to the point where it's like people can't even have conversations anymore,
right?
Because they're just ready to argue and not actually like listen and converse with people,
right?
And I really feel like if we could just get back to that,
we need to
things would start changing quick.
Yeah, we need to celebrate what we have in common, not what
our
differences.
Yeah, completely. I like that. That's definitely would be a key to making things better. Now let me ask you, because you've got the Saplands, the little backyard paradise, and you have been very active in the skate community, trying to help with these DIY spots as they've popped up, and been taken down, unfortunately. But when did you get started into that, like in working with concrete and such?
Well, with the concrete, that was probably, I would say, about 10 years ago, maybe 2009, 2010. And David Lee's the one that actually kind of got us in the concrete direction. Of course, we were always building ramps and DIY and stuff out of wood before then.
Right.
But at Emerson, he had the idea to build this quarter pipe with a curb on top of it. He's the one that kind of started that. And I had only done concrete one time before that. I helped a friend do a driveway one time, and it was just a flat surface. So there was not a whole lot to it. And so he got that started, and I just kind of helped a little bit, mix some concrete and stuff. And then after that, I want to say it was when we started the Barn Bowl, and the Barn Bowl was a really big project.
That was Art Carter's on his old property, right?
Yeah, Art's place. And we had Brett Turner and Kevin Graver, which both had a lot of experience in concrete before we even did, kind of show us the way there, and we learned a lot doing that, because that, like I said, was a big project.
Yeah. Sick, yeah. What were the dimensions on the Barn Bowl?
The shallow end, I think, was 3 foot, and the deep end was like 4.5, and they had pretty tight transitions.
Yeah. So how many spots? I know, like, you guys built a lot of stuff at Nuketown, and how many like little renegade spots have you kind of poured and done something at?
Well, we did the one at Emerson, and then we did the Barn Bowl, and then we did 2 projects at Kona, the wall ride on the back of the vert ramp, and then that long, small quarter pipe with the Rasta-colored stairs going through it. And Nuketown, I think I helped work on 2 projects there. And then there was Cooktown, where we did about 5 or 6 different obstacles. And then my house. Yeah. And I think that's about it.
Yeah. Actually, bro, that wall ride on the back of the concrete vert ramp at Kona, dude, since y'all put that in, it's like my favorite thing there, because it can just put you into so many different lines, and it gives you so much speed, like coming back into the bowl or coming back over the snake or doing the bowl, like little step up and into the back turn of the snake. It's just super, super fun. So when you guys attack a project, does everybody kind of have a role, or?
Mainly, let's see, the Barn Bowl crew is kind of me, Art, David Lee, Russell, and a few other people. And Tony and Paul have come along and helped out a lot. And I'd say Russell and Tony are kind of the muscle. Me and Paul are kind of the designers and form builders. Art's kind of the hype man. And,
nice.
He's the one pushing us to keep it moving and whatnot. And David Lee's definitely our finisher. He knows how to use a trowel.
Yeah, that's what's up. Big shout out to all those guys. Yeah, so I see that you guys are like entering phase what now with the Saplands and doing a pump track?
Yeah, phase 2.
Phase 2. Okay, this is sick. So it looks like it's going to be like a little rollover and kind of a little tabletop bank to bank. And what is it going to be in the corner to the turnaround?
Yeah, it's going to be like just like a pocket, kind of like a berm type thing. Probably close to 4 foot tall. Probably about 140 degrees around with hips going into it, like a true pump track. We went to Tallahassee about 6 months ago just to check out the pump track and kind of, do some research for how we're gonna do that phase 2 at my house.
For sure. So obviously you own your house. How do your neighbors feel about it?
They're pretty cool. A lot of them are renters and stuff, and people that come and go. And I try not to be out there late at night. I try to cut the session off at like 9 or 10 at night, and so try to be respectful of them.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's up. What are some of the dimensions of the sapland? Like, what tallest? Like what, 4 feet?
Well, no, nothing's over 3 foot, and I catch flack about that. Everybody's like, build something bigger. We need a vert wall, but I don't want to really go over the fence or anything like that, or get in trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Not having permits.
Yeah, I was about to say, once you kind of get too big, then the city starts getting involved, and that'd be a huge bummer.
Yeah.
No, it looks hella fun. I got to make it over there. It's just life keeps. Family stuff, it seems like. What you guys session Wednesdays and Sundays?
Yeah.
Those are 2 of my busiest days with the family.
Right. And phase 1 took us about 3 years to do, and I would guesstimate it was probably around $3,000, $4,000, which isn't very much. If you would have tried to build something like that out of wood and skate light, it would have cost so much more, and it wouldn't even last as long.
No, that's crazy.
Going anywhere. I mean, look at Pompeii; they still have concrete there after. So
yeah, that how many bags you got back there approximately?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just truckloads.
Yeah. So, and I'm hoping to be done with phase 2 by the end of this year. And there could possibly be a phase 3. We'll see.
Sick, man. I definitely look forward to seeing what you guys got going on. Now, I appreciate you bringing me the hat. Super stoked on that. Tell us about Germinate.
Well, like I said, I've been in the embroidery business for a long time now. So, I noticed it was hard getting money together to try and build spots like at Nuketown and Cooktown and stuff like that. So I figured if I could do something like this and, put a little bit of money aside from it to help build other DIY spots and, donate it to even other cities and whatnot, because, skateboarding is what shaped my life. And I think people need something in their life, some kind of hobby or something to keep them busy, to keep them focused. And, if we can, build skate spots all over the place, it's going to keep kids out of trouble.
Completely, man. And I love it. I mean, what you're saying really speaks to the whole Skatistan thing and the documentary that had come out and the whole movement that they got there. And it just shows that even in like these war-torn, oppressed areas, the way that just skateboarding or any activity that really, speaks to the individual can really help people rise above either being escape or, like you said, kind of a refocusing thing. So you're making all the product for the Germinate?
Yeah, I work at the screen print embroidery shop, so it's all made by me or someone there. I don't really do too much of the printing there anymore, so my T-shirts are printed by other people like Dalton or other people. But, pretty much.
That's what's up.
And the name, I came up with the Germinate because it's like something growing from, nothing or from a seed or whatever. And that's kind of what I'm hoping happens with the whole DIY concrete movement is it, spreads like seeds. And
for sure. Yeah,
whatnot.
Definitely kind of carrying on with the whole, like monk and everything, you know what I mean? Like, which was dope that you guys had the little, I think it was like Art Carter doing a frontside 50 or whatever at Saplands and the little love letters to skateboarding, right?
Yeah. He did the hippie jump thing, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Hippie jump. Yep. Yeah. Rad. That's cool that they had a little feature on there. So you're, just hella crafty. We've already been kind of talking about that. So what are some of the, you've made like what, cigar box guitars and stuff, right? And little magnets and little boxes.
Yeah, the cigar box guitar thing was like a kit that David had, and it just had like this cardboard box to it. I rebuilt the box for it out of wood, did some wood burning on it. But my dad was a pretty big wood crafter, woodworker, so I kind of learned some stuff from him. And then, that's another reason I created the Germinate and the Etsy and the account is to kind of maybe try to move some of my crafty stuff, like you said, the magnets. I've had some ice cube trays, and when I have some leftover concrete, I'll fill them up with like skull shapes, or Star Wars or something like that, and then just put a magnet on it and paint it, and making stuff out of old skateboards and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool, man. You made, just back to the Saplands, realizing that you made all the coping, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fucking gnarly. That's got to be tedious. So, like, trying to, especially on those bowl corners, just trying to get, like, the radius right, or how,
Yeah, we only have, like, 2 different radius molds. Paul Vaughn actually just made us a 3rd one for the new pocket we're going to do on phase 2 of Saplands. But our original coping block was donated to us by Brett Turner, and then David Lee, Art, Russell all made a mold out of that with fiberglass. So then we started pouring our own blocks for the barn bowl there first.
Okay.
And then a straight block was cut and then fanned and made into a radius to make the pockets at the barn bowl. And then, so now I have those same molds. And then I made my own piano key small mold to kind of do other radiuses.
Cool.
Yeah, so...
Nothing like pool coping, though. Man,
right. Yeah.
Love it, dude.
And that's my thing at Saplands, all concrete coping, no metal coping.
Yeah, and have you seen that one that... I can't remember the company name, but there's like some coping company that's trying to like put etches in the coping, so it kind of gives you that clack sound.
Yeah,
but
it's
still
like that diamond grind or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know how I feel about it though.
Right.
I'm just like, dude, if you're gonna get the clacking, bro, like it's just the concrete. You know?
Right. And the beer can coping is another one that we've done at Saplands around one of the volcanoes around the tree. So.
Oh, a beer can mold?
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
You just fill beer cans with concrete and stick rebar in it while it's still wet and pull the beer can off. And
cool. And
having those small ones like that in the piano key, you can kind of wrap around any transition or any radius.
Yeah. Well, dang, do you guys have any plans for any other DIY kind of spots popping up around here? You just kind of focus on the Saplands at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment I've been focusing on the Saplands. It was kind of heartbreaking when
the Nuketown
got torn down.
And they leveled that place, and they built like a new school or something?
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're doing there now, but yeah.
I drove by it the other day, and I was like, holy shit, that's where Nuketown was.
Right.
It's like a building, and now.
Oh, really? They built something there? Wow.
Yeah, they're building it up. They cleared it and built it. Yeah, no time at all. How do you feel about growing up here, Florida skateboarding? How do you feel? We've had some legends come out of Florida, and this next wave, this new generation is killing it as well, dude. So how do you feel Florida skateboarding stacks up against the rest of the country and the rest of the world?
I mean, I think it's just as good. I mean, you got Jamie Foy and Jake Wooten and, even the old school people that came from here. I mean, Peterson, Kane Gale.
Yep.
Neil Nims.
Paul Hart, even, he's
Hart.
in that kid from Tampa just went pro this weekend for Santa Cruz, Jeremy Nibbs or whatever, is local over there. Yeah, man, I agree. I think it stacks up with anybody, anywhere, in any country, any state. Yeah. Florida definitely doesn't get the hype that Cali does, I feel like, but we've had some monsters. Growing up watching Mike Peterson skate, he was honestly like one of my early favorite skateboarders. One, just because he was local. I mean, you'd show up to any of the parks and he'd be out there ripping. And he was one of, I also liked anybody that could rip all-terrain.
Yeah.
And he could do that.
Yeah. And I grew up with him. We went to the same high school together. We're the same age. I stayed the night at his house before. We competed each other in some contest at Kona. And he's always ripped.
Oh, dude. And he's got the nastiest one-footed ollie. And the only one that I've seen like as good or better since is Grayson Fletcher's.
Right. They both just dangle that foot.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's one trick that I could never even get, even when my ankle was the best. Like I could just never get my foot off, pop it off. But how do you feel? This seems to be a hot topic in the skateboarding culture and industry with the Olympics coming up. How do you feel about it?
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I'm kind of glad it's getting some recognition, but I don't like the corporations stepping into it and getting, throwing all that money and trying to buy influence and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of it.
No, yeah, I completely agree in that aspect, and I like the worldly recognition. I like that society worldwide has finally come to a point where they recognize it kind of more as not just something punks and thugs do. You know what I mean? Like, But it's like at one point, like, it's gonna get real gimmicky.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the uniforms they're wearing?
I saw the uniforms and I literally laughed out loud when I saw them. I was like, oh Jesus!
Right, it looks like an '80s paper cup or something like that.
Yeah, it was definitely not what I was hoping for, but I'm stoked with the squad that they picked. I mean, they definitely got some heavy hitters.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna watch it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it. But I'm just kind of like you, and I one thing I love is the growth of female skateboarding.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, remember back in the day, I remember like looking at some of the pros and being like, oh, well, that are females, and be like, I'm as good as they are, at my peak, You can't really say that anymore.
Right.
These girls are ripping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and just seeing how many girls are showing up to the park is definitely cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no problem with it at all.
Now you guys and a lot of the Barn Bowl crew and such, I know you guys do your little old man skate trips pretty much yearly.
Yeah.
So how many trips have y'all done?
I think the last one was like the 9th or 10th annual one, but I've only done about 4 or 5, and I think they started because it was like Art's birthday, so we kind of did an Art's birthday trip, and it just kind of evolved from that.
You guys, like, where do you normally go? All over Florida or where?
Yeah, usually south. Usually do a Team Payne Park tour or something like that. We usually end up staying in either Lakeland or Tampa or somewhere around there because there's so many parks down there.
Yeah, and you can hit a bunch, within a short drive, relatively short drive.
Yeah. And another park that I really liked that I didn't mention earlier was that Jackson Springs, which is right outside of Tampa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
Team Payne.
Yeah, Team Payne. Dude, they're killing it, and honestly, that's one thing. I saw a little Team Payne, like, map of where all their skate parks are in Florida.
Yeah.
And holy cow.
Right.
Like, it's just when you see it on the map, like, how much it's blown up since I was younger. You know what I mean? Just, like, and how many parks we have here, now.
Yeah.
Which, we did have some good ones. It's Old Skate Asylum.
Yeah.
You remember Skate Asylum?
Yeah, I skated that a lot. A couple of truck stop parties there that went off.
Yeah, dude, that spine was dope.
Yeah, spine with the rollover, then that little vert wall.
Yeah, that was super sick. But yeah, I remember when Treaty got built. It's funny because the kids nowadays, they look at Treaty as like this old, like, big park. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I just remember when that was poured and we were hopping the fences and going to skate because we would organize these massive skip days.
Right.
And just because it was just far enough to where we knew our parents weren't going to roll up on us.
Right.
But good times down there.
Yeah, I like Treaty. It's been a while since I've been there, but I like it. And that's a Team Payne Park too.
It is a Team Payne Park.
The early ones.
And that 8-foot wall and like the corner, that thing is so much fun. So much fun. I wish the one hip leading into the smaller bowl was not a perfect 90.
Right.
I'm just so not good at perfect 90 hips. Like I can do grinds over, you know what I mean, over them, but trying to do any sort of air is like.
There was one at Carl's Ramp in St. Augustine that was kind of fun, and I learned a few things on that.
Oh, Carl Nagley.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's been a long. Last time I was down there was with Wildman.
Yeah, I don't think his ramp's rideable right now.
No, I was about to say I think it has pretty much fallen apart.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, try to describe this, like down near St. Augustine, kind of in the middle of the woods, where's this little skate park heaven that kind of weave through the trees. They had like a 6-foot mini ramp and then a smaller bowl area, and then they even had that spine into another bowl, but it didn't have the corners. It just had the corner coping.
Right. Yeah.
It was gnarly.
Yeah, and he's good at making that stuff too. He's doing pretty much what we doing with concrete, but with wood and metal, which I think is even harder. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I don't know. I've done enough concrete work to where I can get the basic stuff. I'm just by no means, I would not feel confident finishing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'll make the moles, I'll muscle it up and get it all in there and get, but basically,
Yeah.
But finishing it, getting it baby smooth, man, that is such an art.
Well, a good thing to do is like maybe make yourself a little mold to make stepping stones for your yard. And just buy 1 bag, 2 bags at a time, and just make some stepping stones, and get a trowel and just practice finishing on that. And if you don't like it, flip it upside down.
Yeah, sick, dude. Right? That's a really good idea. I'm gonna have to do that. So you got any like cool stories from your old man trips, like places you guys have stayed, wild events that might have happened?
Probably too wild to really talk about, but we do get this one old church. We call it the Church of Skating now. That's turned into a Airbnb, but it's an old Cuban church, and it's a really cool place. And that's where we've gone the last 2 years.
Oh, sick!
Yeah, and it's right in Tampa.
Oh, is that one that is like it's all decorated, all skated out and shit?
No, it's actually a church. We turned the cross upside down. And
okay. Well, because I was about to say, I know that there's one. I've seen pictures of it floating around. There's like some. I feel like it was a church. Maybe it's just an old building. But there's like some Airbnb. It might be in Florida. It might be somewhere else. That was literally like all like it's a skate Airbnb. And
It's got ramps built in it and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that one. It's got like this big stained glass windows and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be in New York actually.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
If we're talking about the same one.
It might be. There's so much stuff you can see on Instagram.
Right.
Dude, it's fucking amazing, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, waiting for the magazine or the video to drop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we hardly seen any coverage, and if we did, it was probably already a year or more old. Back in the beginning.
Right.
And there wasn't a whole lot of tricks back then. Everybody was doing power slides and bonelesses and whatnot. And what we were seeing in the video was blowing us away. But it was rare that we saw it, and now kids are growing up watching this stuff, and now they're doing backside kickflips at 10 years old and stuff like that. And I didn't even know that existed until I was in my 20s.
Yeah, no, completely. And honestly, like I remember when I was a teenager and I started getting better at skating and everything, and I got my first little camcorder, and I was just like, I dreamed of being able to make the edits that these kids and that you can make now just on your phone. It's pretty wild.
It's amazing what you can do on your phone now.
Yeah, and I just pretty much my whole Instagram is like fucking skateboarding.
Right. Same here.
But yeah, so man, I really appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for everything that you got going on. Oh, let me ask you this before we do go. I know that there was talks like right there underneath the I-95 overpass leading up to the where Ram is and the Riverwalk. Mm-hmm. I know the city was allotting some money to make it like a walkway pass through, but they were going to do like a skate plaza in the middle. And I seen it in the Florida Times-Union, but man, I haven't heard anything else about it. You know anything about it?
No, I don't. I wasn't part of that or anything. I haven't really ever tried to get involved with the city or anything. We've just always gone renegade and done it wherever.
No doubt.
We thought we could.
No doubt. Well, if anybody from the city is watching, please make that happen.
Right.
We need another skate spot, especially over here in Riverside.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, as well as like the Germinate and all your stuff, your Etsy and all that.
Yeah. Well, I have my original Instagram account, which is the Will Skate 904, and then my Germinate is Germinate_skateboarding. And that's pretty much the only social media platforms I'm on is Instagram, yeah. I never really got into Facebook.
Dude, I was on it for a while, but I had to get the fuck off of it because I started realizing every time I opened it up, I was like, it's just invoking negative reactions or emotions. And I was like, a couple years ago, I said, done. Yeah. Best thing ever.
I was on MySpace, but then I quit for a while, and then Art talked me into getting into Instagram, and I've already gotten too addicted to that, so I don't want to even try and get on Facebook.
Hey, I hear you.
I spend too much time on it.
Well, yeah, man. Well, thanks again, my friend.
Yeah. And, appreciate you having me.
Yeah, dude. And I look forward to everything you got going on this year, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. It's the punk on scene. This is for all my punks and pieces of shit out there. Punk on scene.
What's the squirrel again? Polly on the pod for the POS segment, bringing you all your info, funk needs on shows, stuff, and whatnot. So, coming up early in the month, actually, my bad, we got March 4th at the Justice Pub. Some pretty good locals, definitely one I would check out. Good array of different heavy genres. And March 5th, there'll be a smaller punk show up at Kona Skate Park. March 7th, at Rain Dogs, will be Rosalie's Going Away show. A local booker is moving on to Atlanta to do her booking, so we're giving her a little send-off with that one. March 18th, will be Michael Graves of the Misfits at Archetype. That'll be a cool one to check out. March 21st is an odd one. Throwing Master P in there at the Veterans Memorial. Not much of a punk show, but definitely something cool to check out if you're into hip-hop. Then once again, up at Kona on the 20th, we had the monthly punk rock pop-up with a stacked lineup of a bunch of super heavy punk bands. Then on the 26th, Poppin' Cats will be here in town. Don't really know too much about them myself, but definitely want to check out if you're looking for something to do that night. Then again, March 27th is the Supervillains and the Scopolis. We'll be playing at Jackrabbit. Definitely a show to check out if you're into ska, reggae, punk. Also on March 27th, another show at Rain Dogs. Blaze and Inslee will be playing. Not too familiar with them, but definitely a check out. That show is actually booked by Black Sunshine Booking, so it should definitely be a good one. Then March 29th will be a bridge show with a couple of Georgia bands who are coming down to play with some locals, so that should definitely be a cool one to check out. If you haven't been to a bridge show, definitely something interesting to look into. Not like your regular punk shows, but yeah, this is Squirrel on Polly on the Pod, letting you know what's going down in the punk and metal scene in Jack. So yeah.
Hey guys, Paulie Walnuts back at you. I got my buddy, my homeboy, Gabriel, or as what does our Cuban neighbor call you, Gabby? Gabby, my boy. Welcome to Paulie on the Pod.
Here we go.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining. For all of our listeners out there that do not have the visual, this is the first guest that Sid has sat in the lap of while we're having to sit down. She is the office manager, Kat.
Sid.
Yeah, dude. She holds
I feel like we're both really comfortable though.
Oh, trust me, I'm looking at y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are definitely very comfortable. No, she literally never sits with anybody. She always, she'll sit with them until we start recording, and then she pops up in my seat.
Really?
Even when Joe's Marie sat across from me.
I think she's gonna hang out, man.
I think she's gonna hang out too.
Yeah.
So tell my people that are listening a little bit about yourself. Are you from Jacksonville, born and raised?
Born and raised, man.
Dude,
lived here my whole life. All the way, man. At the beach, grew up out there, went to Fletcher. Didn't make it all the way, so I had to go to an easier program,
Yeah.
Marine Science Center, and graduated from there. Grew up fishing in these waters. That's probably my favorite part about Jacksonville is the dual waterways, man. That's,
yeah, dude, we got some good fishing down
yeah.
here, don't we?
Oh man, we got it all. You know, there's a few things we don't get all the time, but that's the best part. Is just seasonal, man. You know, we got the cobia runs, the pompano runs, the white runs, the sheephead run. Then the flounder come in for the summer.
Oh,
then you
the
get
flounders. You got them.
Yeah.
We got them doormats, dude.
Yeah, man. Then you know, you got the
the
smaller summer
reds.
fleet.
You got the
that come
reds,
in.
dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
of
reds.
course. So that and yeah, man, been working here since I was out of high school and turning the wrench, and it's kind of what I do now is just work and try to enjoy every minute of my city. You know.
Yeah, man. And I think this is why we related right off the gate was just kind of blue collar mentality,
Yeah.
man.
No kidding.
You know, like living in the city, but still like just kind of connected to that, you know, that blue collar, hard working, simple life. Do you feel me?
Yeah, man. The more I travel, even you know, the company I work for takes me several places, as you know, and I get to enjoy a lot of the East Coast of America, and Jacksonville is just one of a kind, man. I always end up missing Jacksonville towards the tail end of my work trips, and there's just no place like Duval. There really isn't on the East Coast, man.
No, man. And you work for Mako Car Wash Systems, correct?
Yeah, man. And dirty out purdy, man. Yeah.
In dirty out purdy. I love my God.
Yeah, man. We got these car washes around town, man. These things are slipping and sliding. These we do a lot of work with Gate Petroleum, and man, it's a good time. Gotta love what you do. Gotta love it.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know?
And I gotta say, I gotta love living next to you for getting these free car washes, man. Because I roll up there and I put in the you know, the homie code, and
Yeah.
and I come out looking purty.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's interesting working with Gate, man. You get to you know, the Peyton family in general. You get to know kind of what's going on in Jacksonville before, you know, the hub actually hits, and
Right.
watching Jacksonville develop under the sheets through these families that have just been purchasing real estate and doing what needs to be done with it due to its zoning purposes, and just knocking it out the park and watching how they do business. It's been a privilege to work alongside them.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And Peyton, former mayor, right?
Yeah,
Gabe
John Payton, man.
John
yeah,
Payton,
he's
yeah.
you know, I work closer to Hill Payton, and that dude's got a vision, one of a kind, like his father did, Herb, and you know, it's just I've learned a lot from working with that company, and it's interesting seeing the direction that, you know, we know that Jacksonville is going to go in.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's fucking dope. Big shout outs to the Peyton family,
Yeah.
and Gate and all that for what they do for Jacksonville here and everything.
Yeah.
But so let's talk a little bit about more about Jacksonville, man. I mean, you've grown up here. I moved here in like '98, I think.
Shoot, you're more Jacksonville than half the people I know, man.
Hey.
You seem, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I've seen it transform.
Yeah.
Like when we first moved here, like Arlington and Regency and everything, that was the hub. That was the poppin' area.
Yeah.
And now it's completely transitioned to almost every other side of town having their own like town center or marketplace.
Yeah.
Other than Regency, and just kind of
Each one's got their own little cut vibe going on too. You know, it's
right. I mean, with Jacksonville being so spread out, I think that
Huge.
is one thing that is, yeah. For those that do not know that are listening, because I'm not sure if you know this, but we have listeners in 18 different states here in America and 5 different countries internationally.
Wow.
So yeah, we have growth, my friend. So
Yeah.
anyway, for those that are not aware,
Polly on the pod.
Polly on the pod. We in this. So those that are not aware, Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County is the largest county in the United States. We are the largest city land-wise in the United States, although our population does not compare to those cities of like, you know, New York, Dallas, LA. But as far as land-wise, we're as big as they get. So every side of town kind of has their little pocket. And from my perspective, what I've seen, as well as being world traveling somewhat and spending a lot of times in other big cities, with much smaller, you know, landmass, we suck as far as public transportation. If we could move people around here, our economy would blow the fuck up.
We can't get these people around. I was just about to say, man, don't let that mass city fool you. The traffic comes with it. Like,
Yeah.
we have more traffic than any city I've been to when it comes to the ratio throughout the whole city.
Well,
There's just traffic everywhere.
Well, they also like really poor city planning. Hey, do me a favor. Pull that mic back up a little bit closer towards you. Yeah, there you go.
But just gonna go ahead. 2 birds, 1 stone. Just
there you go.
Hit this thing over.
Yeah, do work, my friend. No, I think poor city planning. Now, I have been paying attention that it seems like First Baptist has definitely lost its clutch over city council, and it's reflecting in the fact that they're trying to sell property around downtown, but. I think in the past that has definitely stifled a lot of big projects to help Jacksonville and the economy and the population kind of grow, for fear of, the things that go along with the Baptists and the morals and all
Yeah.
this. Yeah, but I think if we could get some good public transportation like they have in Atlanta, like they have in Chicago, like they have in New York.
Chicago's a great example. Atlanta's pretty rough as well, in my opinion.
Right, but at least they have a MARTA.
Yeah.
At least you can get on. You can fly into their airport, and you can get to whatever side of town you need to get on.
Right.
Okay, and you can get you can get there within reason, especially because the traffic is so bad that you can spend hours in traffic and it'll take you 45 minutes on the MARTA and you're exactly where you need to be. Now, Jacksonville, if we could just have something like that on a regular basis, you'd have the people from the beaches coming to Riverside, going to the north side, River City Marketplace, and to the town center and to all over the place. We'd already start booming just from the circulation of the money here we have in town.
And people eliminate their car payment, which, and plus insurance, your average is like $600+ now these days. That money's going to get pushed back into local economy, man.
Yeah.
These people they're not going to keep that money. They're going to be spending it elsewhere, which is going to be local businesses, etc. And just, that money's going to get built back into rotation. And, that's more money for our general area in our local economy.
And if we can move people around,
it's a trickle effect. It's just going to keep happening. It's just public transportation's so good for your local economy. It does wonders for the lower class and the upper class.
So let me ask you this: have you heard anything about the whole JTA, the Jacksonville Transportation Authority? Their U2C, the ultimate urban commuter that they're doing to transform the monorail downtown?
I have heard some. I believe it was through you. I remember you saying something about it, and it very vaguely.
It's interesting. For those around town, you might have noticed that near the Prime Osborne Center, where they were across from where they built the big new Greyhound station.
Yeah,
that it used to be a super small main hub for the little monorail. They've built it up.
You're talking about that glass building on the corner,
right? No, yes. And it's big, and it's kind of curved on one side and straight on the other.
Fine architecture. Yeah,
very beautiful, and they're finishing it up, right? So, excuse me, I had to pause for the water cause, but anyway, so they're finishing all of that up, and if you go onto the JTA website, what apparently is going to be is a fully autonomous vehicles that can link up within each other. You know what I mean? And they're going to go on the old monorail system raised above. Like they're going to take the track off and just make it a paved road.
How far out are we on this project? That's like really, that's the information I want on this.
So there's nothing on the website. And I've talked to a few people. I cannot disclose their names, unfortunately, at this time. But I've talked to a couple of people working with the city. Yes, it is interesting. There are... the whole downtown main hub will be finished in the next couple of months. Apparently early 2021 is when they're supposed to really start enacting.
Yeah.
Like in the next few months, we should be seeing a shutdown of at least certain sections of the monorail.
Right.
To where they're going to remove the track and start, moving towards that to eventually a full shutdown for a period of time before they can, because they're going to build on-ramps and off-ramps of it. And it's going to connect Springfield, downtown, the arena, the stadium, Riverside.
The general circuit, yeah.
Yeah, like the whole urban...
Man, do you remember the BH1 days?
No, BH1?
The BH1 bus.
What? No.
It would just pick you up from downtown, take Atlantic all the way down around town, man. All the way down to the beaches. BH1.
No, man.
The glory days. Every 30 minutes, 45 minutes on Saturdays and Sundays. That was the bus.
Man. Dude, because now it's like every hour if you're lucky.
But they do have the mobile app, I believe. So you do get a text, so you don't have to be, at the bus stop. You can at least be in the general area,
Yeah.
But still, it's not there. The transportation is just not there. The buses are they're horrible.
You know me,
the
man.
bus station just needs to be annihilated down there.
I'm stubborn as fuck anyway, and I'm like, the bus system here really sucks.
It's
and I'm
horrible.
Like, hurry up, get it together, guys.
Man, when the
we
day
need
they
some
got rid of the
fucking
BH1, yeah, man, we were riding our bikes from Atlantic all the way over the bridges. I mean, it was horrible.
Because even this, from what I'm understanding, this autonomous, like, because it's gonna drive down onto the streets, and so if it does good in the initial general area, it can actually transfer like over the bridges and extend to the beaches and the airport without actually having to lay rail. And it can just literally, you could like be paving a highway and have one designated lane that only these cars are going to go in.
Just completely eliminate a third of the traffic, a third of people's overhead on car payments and all this stuff. It's like public transportation is such a key to a city. It really is. Definitely, we're at that stage of a city now. We're constantly growing.
Are we over 1 million?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I thought we were, but I wasn't sure how. I mean, much.
I would like to know the exact number on that. That's just a good question.
Well, we're just gonna Google this real quick. So,
I don't know. Millions. I think we're like 580.
Hold on. Let's see, Jacksonville.
I looked up McClenny once. That's just depressing.
Oh, McClenny, Florida. For those that don't know, I mean, I've been to McClenny a couple of times, and it's just depressing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going out like mudding, or somebody's got some.
There's pros and cons everywhere in Florida. Come on now.
Yeah, Jacksonville population. My friend, well, this is as far as 2018, 903,889.
Half the women in Jacksonville have 3 to 4 kids a year.
Fair enough. It's triple that by now. So man, let me ask you. We've talked a bunch about Jacksonville already. Like, are you a Florida man? Are you like Florida man did it? Florida boy through and through? Like,
man,
how is it growing up here in Florida?
I did a lot of traveling with my aunt and uncle earlier on. So I've been to almost every state besides Alaska and Hawaii. And
hey.
And Florida's a wonderful place.
I agree.
I love Florida to death, but I could see myself retiring somewhere else, Maybe. You never know, get a little mountain blood in me. But I'll always call Florida home for sure. So yeah, Florida's home. Yeah,
so like I like that. I'm just so fucking opposite my whole life, like I missed, especially when we moved here. Like I loved it at first.
I've seen you outside in shorts and 35-degree weather.
No shirt.
Yeah.
And shit. Like, yeah. No. I've my old lady, dude. God bless my better half, dude. She yells at me all the time. She's like, "You're gonna catch a cold."
When y'all gonna get down there in Puerto Rico?
Dude, I need to get down there, but honestly, with everything that's been going on,
Afraid of a little earthquake, a little shake and bake?
No, not me. I just am like, she wants everything to get a little bit more rebuilt. We need to just kind of handle things here a little bit more, But trust me, I've already been eyeing a couple of skate spots. Like there's this bowl right on the beach somewhere in Puerto Rico.
I've seen a few half pipes on some breaks.
Well, my homegirl, Cassidy Ramos, she's like my little sister. Big shout outs, mad love. She lives actually right down the street here, and she is the daughter of the owner of Kona Skate Park.
Okay.
She lived in Puerto Rico for a while, and she knows the exact bowl that I'm talking about. So, I even told her, I was like, when I do finally make it down there, she's got to draw me the map, like the secret treasure map. You know what I mean? Like, but there's this bowl right on the beach, and there's like a big like shark painted in it. And it's super gnarly, and it's what we call noping.
Noping?
Yeah, because there's like really no coping. So it's just like a concrete bowl, but like the pool lip comes just at kind of like a 90, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which it's worn down because it's been grinded over time, but that like pool coping tends to have like a bull nose.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So there's no bull nose to it. Yeah, so this is a fucking epic bowl. I'm like, yo, I will skate that.
See, that's something I would skate.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I think it's the pool coping that gets me, man.
Honestly, it is fucking super,
Yeah,
like, on
man.
a gnarly wall, like, on small gnarly walls. Like, on a big one where you got enough time to, like, look up to it and get ready. But on something that's, like, 4 foot tall and pretty much vert for most of the tranny up to a sharp-ass bullnose, it's fucking gnarly. It's sketchy. It's hard to skate, dude. Like,
Dude, Puerto Rico's beautiful.
yeah, honestly, so, like, I've been, traveling-wise, from New York all the way down, obviously, to Florida, been over to New Orleans.
Hey, some of the best food in the country, without a doubt.
Never been to Texas. Been to Colorado and Utah. Been to Kentucky. Been to Rome.
Rome.
Been to Paris. Been to Grand Cayman. Been to Jamaica. Been to Mexico.
Where'd these ones accumulate from?
Been to Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah. So I've traveled a little bit. Well, okay, Toronto was outside of Toronto, like about an hour outside of Toronto. And that was when I went up for childhood best friend back up in Pittsburgh's wedding
I was about to say, was it a wedding?
and bachelor party.
Traveling for weddings is just, it doesn't get better.
It was epic. So
It doesn't get better.
So I think I was 19. No, I think I was 20. Might have been 19, 20. Anyway, right around there. And I flew back up. He was a couple years older than me. They'd already, she was pregnant. And we ended up doing kind of a bachelor party there in Pittsburgh. But then Wild Hair, we were like, oh, let's drive up through Niagara. And let's go up through like to Erie and shit like that and blah, blah, blah.
Lake Erie's is personally my favorite.
It's fucking
Lake
sick.
Michigan, I have a friend that's working in the Upper right now, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah.
Copper Harbor.
Yeah.
And he's supposedly going back there. Right now he's in Arkansas, but I want to make a trip up there. I heard it's beautiful.
Nice.
I heard it's one of the most beautifulest pieces of land in the country.
Dude, I love up there, Erie,
Lake Erie's my favorite.
Niagara, and even upper state New York, dude, Buffalo and all that shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's fucking gorgeous. But anyway, long story short, we ended up going on this crazy, like, 3-day kind of road trip, fucking driving all up through the north. We went up into Canada because I was underage, so we could just drink up there. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah.
Yeah,
We-
you cross that border, y'all.
we-
Speaking in cursive, real quick. Yeah, that was a good time over there in Canada, I bet. How old were you? 20 years old?
19, 20 years old.
Oh, man, y'all were hanging out.
Oh yeah. And I went with my family. We went to Paris and we went to Rome. And honestly, I wasn't stoked about going to Paris at the time. It was 2004.
2004.
So it was like right after the whole like it might have been 2000. Yeah, it was 2004. Yeah, because I just graduated. I'd been a year out of high school. I graduated in 03. And but the whole war in Iraq, it was around the time we were calling them freedom fries. We weren't calling them
Freedom
French fries.
I remember that.
Okay.
I just thought of that the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, you remember these things weren't even about to be French fries no more.
No, dude, they were freedom fries. So I was really skeptical. I was like watching a lot of the news, Fox News, even the CNN. I was watching a lot of the corporate media outlets, and I was like believing what I was young and naive, believing what I was seeing. So
Scary
I
times.
I was like, I don't want
Scary
to fucking
times.
go here. My grandfather and my grandmother, she worked in the State Department, so they were there. She worked in the U.S. Embassy there in Paris, and so we were there visiting them, and we stayed with them.
It's like the place I wouldn't want to be.
It was fucking amazing.
Truly,
bro.
though.
It was, dude, it was amazing. It was so clean. Okay, one, they have motherfuckers that come around. Their dogs just shit on the sidewalk. Okay? They don't poop scoop. They don't tell nobody to pick around a baggie.
They got dog shit picker uppers.
They got street cleaners that walk around and clean up the street with these little things, and they clean up the shit for it. Okay?
You're joking me.
No. Okay? Everybody was so nice. At the time, they were like, oh, we love America. They just didn't really like George Bush, more or less Dick Cheney. You know what I mean? George Bush was a fucking idiot. Dick Cheney was the one pulling all the strings. But
God bless that mother, though.
oh yeah. But Paris was actually quite amazing. And I was like, you know what? was not stoked about going there, but I left there completely in love with the city. in the culture. And this is one thing I'll never forget. One morning,
Did you pick up any good habits?
I wish. Now, one thing I will never forget is my mom and my little brother. I think my little brother came with us, but it was definitely my mom and I. We went down one morning. We woke up early, and we walked down to this little cafe, and we got a cafe, and we got some croissants. And playing in this little cafe was Gin and Juice, Snoop Dogg, unedited in English, and there was like complete like normal like business people, and I was just completely taken aback. I swear to God, because I don't know what radio station they had it on, but like clearly it was like just some streaming.
It was completely subnormal.
Nobody knew that. I mean, I don't know. You know who else in there spoke English? It was very small. I don't think many did. So it just made it that much more comical to me and more interesting that Western culture makes it to those corners.
That's what Snoop Dogg produces, man.
Gotta love the dog, man.
Yeah, that's wild. Is just to hear it in a cafe in general at any hours of the day,
right? Rolling down the street, smoking. So tell me about your travels, man. I mean, enough about me,
man. When you said treasure map to the bowl, man, I got a treasure map from an old guy in Pennsylvania. And literally, I go in there, and he was, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Let me spend a few $100 before I ask this guy where the hole is."
Yeah.
And so I buy my brother a shirt, some stickers, me a shirt, a few other things, and then some gear that I supposedly thought I would want to use. After talking to this old guy, man, I returned half the stuff, and he pointed me in the right direction, and he just he put me on game with fly fishing up in this general area, Bear Creek Dam. And I went in there. I thought I knew what I was doing. I grew up fishing down here and had an idea, did a lot of YouTubing, and I didn't know. This guy literally goes upstairs, prints me out this map, highlights it down. Next thing you know, I'm on Bear Creek Dam, just slaying trout. I was throwing at them blind, dry flies. I waited till they started smacking the top water, and
no doubt.
Without this guy's knowledge, I was just so lost on what I was attempting to try to do towards my current knowledge at fly fishing. And so ended up being the best trip of my life, coming back from commute from Syracuse, attempting to fly fish in Chittenango, New York, outside of Syracuse, Chittenango Falls, and epic fail. Just didn't catch nothing. I was not even getting hits, I couldn't get nothing to bite any fly that I was throwing. And made it back through, stopped in Savannah. This is my most recent commute back from New York. I go about twice a year now with the company I work with. And coming back through, I stopped in Savannah and just had one of the most wildest, funnest nights of my life. The shoes I bought looked like I probably owned them for 10 years after 2 days of hanging out in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, shit.
That's a cool spot to go hang out and have some drinks and experience some old culture and beautiful old architects from, years ago. That's an old city. And
it's honestly what I love about when I visit places. Yeah, man, as I love the architecture.
Yeah,
I'm a
man, I
sucker
love
for that
it.
shit.
Always have. Yeah, absolutely. And, food and the architect of any place that, is alluring, man, makes you just want to go back and share the experience with somebody.
I've never been to Savannah.
Man, I love it. And it's so close to us, and I never really truly took advantage of it, but I wasn't ready just to come back in yet. So I stopped in Savannah one last night. I was like, I don't want to finish my drive. I've been driving. I stopped in Asheville, stopped in Morganton, and finally get back towards Georgia. And I was like, let me just stop one more place. And I got to experience Savannah, and it's a shame. I've always lived this close to Savannah, and never realized just take the time, man. Savannah's cool. It's got a great ambiance as a little niche town city that's just right on the water and big cobblestone.
A lot of ghost stories
cool
up there,
staircases that are just fat pieces of concrete. It's a neat place, man. But that was my most recent trip and actually one of my best, man. It was a lot of just me by myself, just on the road, man, listening to good music and
That's
listening to podcasts, Polly on the pod, man. That was
Polly on the pod.
Gets me through the day, man. Yeah, man. Keep them coming, crank it out,
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, and I definitely appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
So let me switch gears and let's talk about, briefly. Let's talk about politics. It's election year.
Yeah.
I know you were. I believe you were a Trump supporter initially.
Yeah, man, and this is everyone's got these ideas, and ideas this is a tough time our country's going through, man. We're so
Very tough
split.
time.
Everyone's so divided. Everyone's so angry, and this shit is it's killing people, man. We gotta calm down.
Right. So this is what I see. What's happening to America is the same thing that we have said. What is wrong with countries like Iraq and Afghanistan is where people are getting different sects of their own societies are getting so radicalized in their ideologies that it is creating violence and hatred and prejudice and just aggressiveness and tension throughout the society.
It's like 80% of aggression and stuff now these days, man.
I know,
it's like,
dude. And in the
that's
clickbait,
what everything revolves around. It's this left, right, up, down, yes, no. It's like what happened
it's
to
being
all
able
based
to
off
talk,
an idea, you know?
What happened to being able to talk to each other?
Yeah.
How many times have we in the driveway?
We don't gotta agree on everything, but you have an idea. It depends on how we prioritize the idea we have of, there's a problem and what solution should come first. That's all an opinion.
My buddy that I had the other day here, he's on the early segment in this episode. My buddy Willy Beaman. And he basically was just like, I asked him, I said, what do you want to see from our society and our country moving forward? He's like, I just want everybody to be nice to each other again.
Yeah.
And just be able to be, basically, essentially, paraphrasing, be able to talk to each other again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And treat each other with dignity. And I'm like, dude, amen. If we could just get back to that.
I concur with that 100%.
Yeah, because
we solve more problems like that.
Right, but Trump is a businessman, and you cannot deny that there have been things in the economy. People are building again.
Yeah.
We're building again. The economy is definitely on an up. Some of what the economy each president gets is inherited from what the previous president does, but
from usually the same angle, two aspects. You're correct,
but Trump has definitely done a lot of things to help our economy keep going.
Yeah.
However, my biggest, other than
on the bright side, man, what about that Taliban peace treaty signed Saturday?
Yeah, is that really a bright side? I'm kind of like iffy on that. And this is why.
How long was that war? Like 18-year war?
Well, now we supplied the
16 years.
The Taliban kept the Russians from advancing through the Afghanistan mountains and through Afghanistan during the Cold War. We supplied them with weapons and we trained them. That's where the Taliban really was able to get radicalized, because when the U.S. didn't hold up the promises and other things happened, they were like, oh, we were already supplied weapons and if you go back, Osama bin Laden, Al Qaeda, the Taliban, it was like really created by United States of America in these shadow wars. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, it's a peace treaty for now. Until what do we do to not hold up our end of the bargain?
Current.
What did we promise them? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm hella fucking skeptical. I'm like, Put it this way. All right. I do like Bernie Sanders. I don't exactly agree with everything that he says or wants to do, but one thing I like about him is his track record. He is known to be able to cooperate with people and moderate with people and come to an agreement. Okay, there are many Republican constituents that respect him and feel and agree with a similar statement that I just made. Now is everything that he says going to happen immediately? No. But I definitely think it is very possible if we start to restructure our vision of what our country needs to be. It would easily be possible to give people basic Medicare. I'm not saying you can't get your insurance, okay? But if you cannot afford your own private insurance, there should be a safety net without making people go bankrupt. Okay, if you're a tax-paying American citizen, we have single mothers and fathers and just lower-income families who are working multiple jobs, still barely paying the bills, and cannot supply themselves with medical care.
Right.
So they should at least, if they're paying taxes,
I know a lot of families.
Yeah, so they should at least be able to be entitled, even if it's a waiting list. Guess what? For those families, waiting 3 months is better than nothing. So that's my point on that. Especially if we have 131 billion or whatever dollars to spend on a space force.
Yeah.
I thought NASA was the space force. Give them money, you know?
Yeah. No, NASA's just a private engineering company. It's I just, with the Space Force thing, there's several angles. They act like they haven't been applying that security already. You don't think these satellites in space have already been encoded and are protected? You're really worried about Space War, somebody hacking into our satellites? These things were built with maybe one back door, if that. You know, and that's what they're talking about with the Space Force is applying security, you know, here on Earth, as you will, if you want to call it Space Force.
Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I love how we're going to, invest money to protect Earth and a Space Force.
Yeah.
But we're down here drilling and fracking and not giving a fuck about green energy. I'm like, what is the biggest hypocrisy, like, in your face?
You know, and they're like, China's got lasers.
Fucking laser beams.
Did you
like
read
Dr.
that?
Evil over
China's
here.
got lasers. That's why we need Space Force. And it's like, you know, it's going to be some, you know, either way. You know, this is a time for Americans to maybe learn from our mistakes for once.
And
start to focus that these two parties are just trying to cut each other's throats.
And they don't really give a fuck about what happens in the end.
And it is wild. This is as worse as I've ever seen it, man. I grew up with a family that was always in politics. My grandma, Penny Riley, was one of those ones that was sitting there on the corner near Peterbrook holding one of the presidential signs. And it's, this is as worse as I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's so much hatred, man. It's violent out there.
Well, I definitely, I agree with you, and I'm gonna keep doing my best to try to not perpetuate that and try to plant the seed for change in that aspect.
Isn't there? Who are the Democrats that just folded in their cards, man, and they're going with Joe Biden? Who was that? It was like today or
Buttigieg.
Was it so Buttigieg?
I'm not sure who else, but I know it's Biden and Bernie right now that are the front runners. But here, let's switch gears from politics, and since we did talk a little bit about space.
There you go.
Okay, so we do have this Artemis mission coming up where Americans will be going back to the moon. Our government and NASA says, and there's been a lot of
I hope they don't fail miserably.
Oh, I hope they don't fail miserably either. But a lot of people are saying this is just kind of a PR stunt, and this is not going to really, because Americans are not happy with kind of the, I guess, stagnant progress that as a whole Americans feel that our space program has been, because already got to see people walk on Mars. What? Going to the moon?
Why?
I'm kind of the same.
Why?
I kind of
don't go land on my moon. I need that thing to fish. Don't go fucking up that fucking moon.
Don't fuck up the moon. We need that for the tides. No, I'm like, go to Mars already.
Leave it alone, man.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. But the one thing I do think is rad about this is it's going to be a woman landing on the moon for the first time.
You probably just nailed that on the head, Paul. I can almost guarantee you it's going to be a woman at this point after hearing that comment.
No, it is going to. I heard that it's going to be like, because Artemis, Apollo was the sun god and Artemis was his twin sister. And so Apollo was the original moon missions. And so these are the Artemis missions, and it's going to be the first woman to walk on the moon.
Fascinating.
Yeah. But do you believe in aliens?
Man, if you're going to sit here and tell me that life don't exist out there, I mean, even a cell of life, you got to be ludicrous out your mind.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, really, though, it's like, this is like a grain of salt here we're on, man.
I know. Okay, thank you. I love it. Okay, we can go ahead and move on from that. Let me ask you one last question. I know you're a sports fan.
Yes.
As we approach this draft,
he's gonna kick me out, y'all.
I mean, what are you looking for our Jaguars, man? What's going on?
Ooh, man, I think we need Minshew to step up to the plate. We need to try to find the receipt for Nick Foles.
Hey. Hey. Well,
I like Nick Foles. I do, man. I really do. But we got a young quarterback that has continuity right now. You want to hold on to continuity when you have it.
He's got a spark about him, and I think Nick, he lost the locker room when he came back, and performed very underwhelmingly.
But when it comes to TC, was that the right call? Maybe. Did we give him enough
Coughlin?
time? Yeah.
No, fuck Coughlin.
I don't like the guy. I really don't. But you just
no, dude. He put y'all back even more, dude.
I do agree with that.
Even
Yeah.
more.
I don't like TC. We've been there, done that, man. It's kind of like dating, man. Come on,
bro. Like, what are you
a
going
football
back?
team's a lot like that,
dude. You're not
you
gonna
gotta
go back
treat it right,
bro. Yes, and you're not gonna go back to a bad relationship and think it's gonna be better, because it will
TC's
always be
a fuck
worse.
boy.
Always be
You
worse.
know, he came and did us dirty and dipped, man.
He did. He collected the checks from Con. He was like, all right.
And I felt like he saw it coming too. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to take us anywhere because of how deep we already were. Yeah. But
well, hey man, I appreciate you sitting down with me. We've been chilling for a minute. We'll definitely do this again soon. We're taking a break for a month. This is the season 1 finale, if you will. So we'll catch everybody the first week of April. Appreciate you.
Hey, peace out, y'all. Thanks for having me, Paul.
Yeah, man. Hey guys.
Coming to you live from the basement. We don't
Hey,
have
hey
a
guys.
basement.
Polly Walnuts here with my beautiful better half, Joe's Marie.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to this show.
Oh, merci, Basil.
Yes. So, you're back here to discuss a few of the most entertaining shows and movies that we have been watching lately.
I mean, they've been pretty good.
They have been pretty good. So we'll start off with what I know you're going to say is your favorite.
Well, I mean, I just think it's quite comical how much against it you were, and then you saw that they were on a ship, and you're like, pirates, I'm down.
Yeah, maybe. It might have happened like that.
It totally happened that way.
Outlander. It is a show on
Sexy.
Stars. Yes, it is very
Romantic.
romantic. I felt like it was definitely written for menopausal women. But
Wow. Rude.
I'm just being honest.
No, you're just being you. It's okay.
Hey, the witch is honest. That's all it can be.
Well, anyways, no, that show's actually pretty good because it
Very good,
has
actually.
a lot of different dynamics to it, from romance to history to fighting to gory shit to witch trials and
Yeah.
time travel. You
Yeah.
name it.
It can be a little over the top at times, but after,
You get to see a lot of titties, so, if you like titties.
Yeah, we'll put it this way: of all of the shows in the past 20 years that have come out on the premium networks that are highly romanticized, that show a lot of nudity, like True Blood and
I love
others.
me some True Blood, though.
That show sucked.
Yeah, that's your personal opinion. You're all
It is my
entitled to
personal
it.
opinion.
There's plenty of people who agree with you. There's plenty of people who disagree with you. But we're talking about Outlander right now, not True Blood.
And we are. And Outlander is far above.
What you expected, for sure.
For sure. So anyway, then let's talk about another one. How about Dracula?
Well, Dracula was really good, I think, in a sense. It's something different, different take on vampires. Usually vampires just drink your blood to drink your blood. This guy is very strategic about whose blood he consumes because he consumes you as well.
Well, yeah, it is based off of the Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Da-na-na.
which I mean, I love the one with Keanu Reeves and that came out in the 90s. This one, though, had a comic value to it.
Oh, yeah. It was very entertaining. And,
and the effects that were done and the cinematography and the way
thought
that
it was
put
just
together.
great. It was very poetic ending.
Yeah, it was
Beautifully poetic.
highly entertaining. Dracula was played by an actor named Clyce Bang. Actually, bang bang.
Listen, Pistol Haystacks here does not appreciate any sort of stuff going
Pistol
on.
Haystacks. I'm the quickest gun in the West.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Pistol Haystacks, but I'll fuck you.
Hey.
Anyways, enough about my Western name.
Okay.
Dracula was good, but it's only 3 episodes. It's a mini series. It's an hour and a half episodes, so it's doable, and it's not something you have to. I don't know. It's basically like a miniature movie.
Yeah, and so then we'll move on to the next one, which was Fighting with the Family.
Fighting with Family. That was
Fighting with Family.
I don't know. Do you remember the one with the wrestler? That wasn't actually on Netflix. That was just a movie we watched.
Right.
Yeah, that one was.
Not a Netflix movie. This was a movie that was based off of a true story.
Yeah.
It was about a wrestling family over in the UK. Were they in England or Scotland or Ireland? Where England, right?
I feel like they were English.
Yeah, and it was mother father that wrestled, then the son daughter, and the son daughter tried out for the WWE. The daughter got picked up, and eventually made a big name for herself. It was produced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and featuring him as well as many others.
Oh, it was so good. It was very punny.
Oh yeah, tell us what else you think about it, baby.
I thought it was very entertaining being like a family movie. There was a couple times where you thought like things were going to take a dark turn, but they really don't, which is good for everybody in the long run. And, you know, it deals with what kind of comes with competitions and, you know,
Correct,
being
I
out of
agree.
your own comfort zone and kind of like pushing past that and not trying to really conform. Because there comes a point in time where she kind of decides to conform and dress herself alike.
Start following instead of
Instead of
leading
just
in
being
own
her
style.
own. Yeah, exactly. And like any good movie.
I think it was you know, like just like so many stories where you said the competition and it was like the sibling rivalry, and when she got picked and the brother didn't. And
Well, I mean, it's like he had a reason to do it. Like, she
yeah.
just was like an automated response. It's like, well, what do you want to do it? Because it's what we do. No,
Right.
but why do you want to do it?
Right.
Because it's what we do.
It was definitely highly entertaining. I recommend it. I was not, super
It was
big-
hilarious.
I was not a super big wrestling fan, and I completely enjoyed it. So for those of you out there that do not like wrestling, you do not have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy this movie. It's fucking awesome. I suggest you check it out. So let's talk about The Good Place.
Oh my God, the series finale, I said.
Oh my god.
I meant to say.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
Lanta.
my god.
Well,
No,
let's
that
just say
was
that
such
that
a
was-
good show.
it was not just a good show, but I feel like they ended it so gracefully. Like I think it was a very like,
They did.
it was a good ending where, yeah, you left like you wanted more. You know, like I would have wanted to know more about Tahani's, you know, her diving into like
Oh, yeah,
working
for
in
sure.
the underworld and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And but you know, and then
I've often thought about like, oh, it'd be cool if there was a spin-off, but then I'm also like,
dip.
nah. I love that Jason was the first one that wanted to go.
Well, I'm sure Pillboy and Donkey Doug were waiting for him.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the Duval in me. But I'm just like, portals.
He was just
Picture me
amazing.
with a Molotov cocktail.
He's like,
Fucking
that was
out.
pretty sick, you know?
Yeah. That was just a great show. Loved all the characters.
It was all feel good. I mean, there was good character development. At first I was kind of iffy about watching it because I was like, oh, these people are like not able to cuss and they're, you know, cussing
yeah.
like they're
It was
around
so-
children. You
it
know,
was
like
so
it felt corny
intelligent,
like
though.
at first, but then you start actually, you know, watching it and you're like, oh, there's more to this.
Oh, yeah.
Than meets the eye. And it was amazing. And though I am sad it is done, I think they did a really nice
What's her
job
name?
wrapping it up. Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, she was awesome.
Amazing as always.
I don't know who played Chidi Adeganye. He was dope.
Chidi Adeganye was like
He was dope. I'd like to see him in other things.
awesome.
Like I said, Jason, he was just the man. I love Not a Girl.
Oh, dip.
And Ted Danson as Michael.
That's his name. Ted Danzig. Yeah.
Ted Danson was so...
I said Danzig instead of dancing. Sorry.
No, not mother. Tell your children not to come my way.
Not
But
bad.
anyway, Good Place, great show. Check it out if you haven't already. Another show we watched, and we crushed this one out quick. Lock and Key.
That one was really nice. I felt like it, you know, it was going to be like the Umbrella Academy. Either it's going to be good or it's going to be corny.
Yeah, actually, and it did have some kind of cool elements, like the
Such
Umbrella
cool.
Academy.
I mean,
Academy
like,
had.
yeah, you know, like with the fact that it was, you know, a different
Mental
kind of
puzzle.
house that they
Yeah.
lived in, and then, you know, the whole mentality aspect of it, and different characters coming into play, and like the story unraveling the way that it did, it actually made sense. And it's interesting because, you know, the way they ended it definitely left you like
Yeah,
very
I'm like,
open-ended. Like,
yeah,
there's
when is
got to
season
be a
two?
season 2. There's
Gotta
got to
be.
be. If not, I'm writing a letter. I'm gonna write a bitch fit. I'm gonna have a bitch fit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking write them a letter.
Fucking official bitch fit.
Writing
Lock
them a
and
letter.
Key season 2, Netflix. Fuck with it. Anyway, Magic for Humans. That's another great one. If you are looking for time to kill and just something to watch that
Hey, you
is
can watch it with your kids,
hella
too.
entertaining. Yeah, especially if you got kids. Magic for Humans. This guy is Well, one, I'm a dad. Everybody knows that. I'm a sucker for dad jokes. Nobody knows that better than you, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy is king of dad jokes, and he's got the magic to back it up.
He's amazing.
Completely.
He's so he's so funny, and he's capable of basically just blowing your mind without you really even looking away. Like, you find yourself rewinding the video or the TV. You're like, what the fuck just happened? How did that happen? There's no way that happened, you know? And I'm like, sir, I dare you to travel back in time in the 1700s and pull this shit. They will burn you fucking alive.
And it's cool because, like, the content is, like, kind of David Copperfield, but, like, also kind of, like, stand-up comedy.
I mean, in a way, yeah.
And
just
also,
because
like,
he's
kind of, like,
kid
kid show, like Raffi almost. In a way, because he does cater to like the kids and like the wholesome, you know. But I love when he did that with the marshmallows.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But you know, it's weird because that was an actual test that they performed on people. That they took. I think it was like I don't know if it was triplets or like
a psychological test. Yeah.
Where they did on people.
That's studies, you know.
Mushrooms. What? I meant to say marshmallows.
Marshmallows, mushrooms,
marshmallows. They kind of sound similar.
LSD. I mean, our cat is named Sid.
Let's not tell people our business. So, what is the next show you got on?
The next show that I've got on the list, Tiny House Nation.
Yeah, that shit is bomb. I mean, like, it definitely makes me want to just get rid of all my shit. That's a lie. And then just move into this beautiful tiny home. But
yeah, I don't know.
I would have to run away if that was the case, because I don't know that I could live with you in a tiny house.
What? I was about to say, damn it. I was
You're
like,
so tall, like, and
I am so tall, but
listen,
babe, our tiny house would be
Do you
dope.
understand that, like, Bones, like, loses his shit when he's in this apartment? Like, what do you think he would be like in a tiny ass place?
Well, we don't really live in an apartment.
No, we live in nice little bungalow,
apartment.
Over in a good part of town. But I'm just saying, like, like.
Look, all I'm saying is
I just want to know.
I'm like, what's his name from the Lego movie? I'm Master Builder.
Are you?
I am.
So
with me. I would build us the dopest tiny house, but the kids got to be grown. The kids got to be grown. We could have kids.
I want the news.
We could have no kids.
Not the weather. What?
No kids. Couple cats and a tiny house and a dog.
Why do you sound so distressed while you're saying all these things like they're like you're listing them off? So Tiny House Nation was pretty tight. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, the Master Carpenter.
I haven't watched that one.
No, the guy on the show that's like the lead carpenter.
Like you're talking about
and the co-host. He is actually quite
hilarious,
ingenuitive. The things that he comes up with to solve the problems to help people better coexist in these tiny spaces.
I just love that he's always like, of course it's for the show and the entertainment, but they're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do
that. I don't know, man. I don't know. And all of a sudden, before you know it, he's like, I came up with this fucking great idea and it's gonna work out perfect. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's not actually wham bam, it's wham bam, but that's fine.
You know, whatever. But yeah, no, dope show as well. Super entertaining. What are we gonna watch tonight?
Probably Sunday's episode of Outlander, because we were catching up on The Walking Dead, which is something that we didn't talk about.
Walking Dead is back.
Well, that's the thing is that, you know, you're new to Walking Dead. There's a lot of people who've been watching Walking Dead, and some of them are like, fuck this. They stopped watching, like, I know, but that's what I'm saying is like, there's people who started watching it when it first.
I just time early on.
Man, don't fuck with me right now. It's I don't know what that means at all, because you soak those episodes up like candy. You were like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is happening, and I fucking hate Shane.
Yeah, Shane, I fucking hate his.
It was only the first season.
Yeah, but Negan, I love Negan.
Oh my god, like, is he really, like, did he for real have sex with Alpha?
He got down with Alpha.
Gross.
That is pretty gross.
It's a Narnar, man, like Narnar Banks all day.
I love that motherfucker. Negan is the man. I also love Daryl. I used to love Carol. She's
Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol. And I miss Daryl's brother Merrill.
Oh, Merle was a son of of a bitch, though.
Meryl was son of a bitch. You got
Merle.
reserved. But anyway,
Merle.
we are rambling on and on. I want to
Sorry.
thank everybody for listening. This was our review of our entertainment for the past month, right?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you again, guys. Thank you, babe, for sitting down with me. This is Polly on the Pod, episode 10. Catch you guys later.
Buenas noches.